So I was talking to someone recently and the person said, Faith, I love your videos, they're very informative. But then what is the fate of people like us who have not relocated to Canada, since your videos are more focused on people that are already here? I now thought about it and I admit to myself, and let's just say that I have repented. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about one of the ways to relocate to Canada in this video today, and my focus will be on the Express Entry program. Let's roll. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Faith. I'm an HR professional and Nigerian immigrant based in Toronto, Canada. If this is your first time here, until you have been slacking on, let's just put it like that. Use the subscribe button and also click on the notification bell so when I post a new video, you will run there and quickly go and watch it. Anyways, to my returning viewers, you guys are awesome. Thank you. So like I was saying, I said I need to focus on relocating to Canada as well, as much as I focus on settling when you are already in Canada. So I'm going to be doing a series that will focus on this aspect, right? So yes, the Express Entry program. Now this is one of the viable pathways to relocating to Canada, and it is one that a number of people have used in relocating to Canada. Now, I am not a licensed immigration consultant, but I will do my best to give you the information that I have based on the research that I've done and also based on my own personal experience. Now, I know that this is something that might be common knowledge to some people, but there are other people that frankly, they don't have the time to do that research. They also don't have the patience to do the research, so don't worry. That is why people like me are here. The Express Entry program has 3 sub-programs under it. The first one is the Federal Skilled Workers Program. Next is the Federal Skilled Trades Program, and then the Canadian Experience Class. Now, for the Federal Skilled Trades Program, this one is for people like, chefs, cooks, bakers, and for this one, you need to have a valid employment. And also, it is for people who have at least 2 years experience within a 5-year period. So it's not exactly, because it has that requirement of having a valid employment, it's not exactly one that is popular. I don't know, maybe a lot of people have done it, but it's not one that I see often. Now for the Canadian Experience Class, this one of course is for people that are already in Canada. The focus of this video is on the Federal Skilled Workers Program because that is where a number of us fall under. We are folks that are living outside of Canada. We probably don't have any Canadian experience whatsoever. So this program is the one that is for us. For this one, you need at least 1 year experience and a total of 1,560 work hours, which is kind of equivalent to 30 hours per week. So that is where most of us fall under, and this is one of the more viable options, right? Now, I know that in the last couple of months, there have not been any draws. And I know a number of people have been on the edge as to what's happening now. But it seems, and you never know, it seems like maybe the draws may be coming back for the Federal Skilled Workers Program. So this video is very timely. Besides, Uncle JT just won like yesterday, so you never know. Maybe he might be happy and say, oh yes, I have won, let me do another draw for you guys. So fingers crossed, guys. But the point is, whichever way, this is a good time to start looking at an Express Entry program if you haven't been doing that before now. Before you apply for the Federal Skilled Workers Program, you need to ensure that you meet up with the minimum requirements before you go ahead, right? There's some requirements. Let me look at my phone because, there's so much in this head. I can't grab everything. So it's best I give you the information. Let me check it so that I'm sure that it's accurate. So yeah, so there's the skilled work experience, there's language ability, and then there's education. So those are 3 requirements, and the maximum score is 67. If you don't get up to 67 in these areas, then it means that you don't even qualify for the Federal Skilled Workers Program. In the description box, I'm going to put a link where you can do this assessment so that you will see if you are eligible or not. Now, after you have checked all of that and you've seen that you are eligible to apply for the Federal Skilled Workers Program, don't rejoice yet, because you're still going to be assessed on the 6 selection criteria. So I'm just going to read them very quickly. So we have the age, education, work experience, whether you have a valid job offer or not, English and French language skills, adaptability, which is, how well you are likely to settle in Canada. All of these are going to determine your CRS score. The CRS score is the Comprehensive Ranking System score. So this is what really eventually determines if you will get an express entry or not. So please, first, before you go far, Auntie, just check the eligibility criteria. If you don't even meet up with that one, don't even bother. Well, maybe you can go through Libya.
Will you keep quiet?
But the point is, that is where you need to start from. If you like this video so far, please hit the like button and also subscribe as you are watching. Just be subscribing. Now, I have a couple of things that I'm going to mention now. A few things that I want to emphasize on. When it comes to the age, this one is a very important part of this entire process. Now, if you are less than 30, the odds are better. Okay, for those that are above 30, well, I'm not saying that you cannot get it all, because then again, what God cannot do does not exist. But it's definitely a little more difficult when you are already above 30, because the scores drop significantly. By the time you use the CRS tool, you can even do a demo yourself. Use the CRS tool, put someone who is above 30 years and do it in tandem with someone who is less than 30 years. You will see how the scores will just start fluctuating. So this one is a very important aspect of your application. Now, if you're less than 30 and you're watching this video, you better start thinking very quickly, like, maybe this is it. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, before you know, you're getting older, and with every year that passes, your scores drop. So you want to make sure that you have the highest score possible. So whatever stage you are now, this is the time to actually get on it, okay? Now, the next thing I will talk about is the work experience part. Or for this one, you're going to have to provide a documentation where you will, pretty much describing, like a letter of, I don't know if it's called a letter of reference or something, but something from your previous employer or your current employer, as the case may be. You will need to provide that to as part of your documents. Now, for those of you who, when you're leaving places, you used to burn bridges, when you're leaving your previous, maybe you even insulted your previous boss as you were leaving, or even your current boss, you're insulting them at the moment, you need to pipe down, because the day of nemesis is going to come when you will need them to sign this letter, especially if you're the principal applicant. So please, mend your fences if you know that you are going to be going through this route, okay? There is what we call the NOC. I'm going to put all this in the description box because I don't want to bore you. Now, you need to make sure that the NOC code that you use is accurate when you're doing your application. So please take note of that. Look at the NOC codes that represent that, kind of in line with your job title and the duties that you actually perform. Okay, so that's another thing that you want to take note of under work experience. The next thing I'll talk about is education. Now, those that have a second degree, so a master's and all of that, those people definitely have a slight edge because they have higher points by the time they assess their credentials with either WES or ICAS. It kind of gives them a higher point. It doesn't mean that if you have just a first degree, you might not be able to get an express entry. The truth is that, it's a point-based system, so you can do well in maybe your age, maybe you're very young. It all just adds up together, okay? So don't be deterred, right? Now, aside that, there are first degrees that automatically, when you assess them, now note this, when you assess them through ICAS, not WES, because WES is going to assess them as first degrees. But if you assess them through ICAS, you will have the same points that someone who has a second degree would have. So courses like medicine, dentistry, optometry, veterinary medicine, those law, very important. Those sort of courses, you automatically get the same points as someone that has a second degree. So for medical doctors and people that fall under that category, in case you didn't know, please know this, that your degree actually gives you, your degree is going to be evaluated as a double degree when you use ICAs, not WERS. Okay, so this is one part that is very important. I thought that I should mention that. So guys, I'm still going to pause here and say, if you like this video so far, please hit the like button. I still have a couple of more points that I want to go over. Now, the next point I'll talk about is having a valid job offer. Now, this one, especially because I'm in HR, I've had a number of people reach out to me to say, please help me get a job in Canada. But you see, this one, like I said before, I know that what God cannot do does not exist. But this one is hard. Let's just put it like that. Because especially when your role is like, a basic, I don't want to use the word basic, but if you're in one of those popular careers, so you're in HR, you're in IT, you're in finance, these roles are we have a lot of people in those spaces. So as a company, why would I go all the way to, I don't know, Nigeria and get somebody with Nigerian experience to come and work for me here in Canada? Like, why would I go through all of that trouble when I can get someone who is already here in Canada? So when people reach out to me with those kind of requests, I mean, like I said, you may be able to get it, or I'm after Einstein or like Mark Zuckerberg. Anyway, it doesn't mean, it doesn't have to be that deep. It's possible that you might be able to get it. But my point is that don't put your mind on the fact that there's one job waiting for you somewhere. So, and don't fall for scammers that will tell you, yes, just send this money and then I'll be able to get you a job in Canada. Honestly, those things are a little sketchy. Because I'm in HR, I also understand this thing. So when people reach out to me and say, they have this person who is saying that they can help them to get a job in Canada, I'm always very wary, especially because the amount that those guys call, just imagine someone saying, bring almost $1 million naira, and then I'll be able to get you a job in Canada. That's a little excessive. So you need to be very careful. Like I said, if you're in specialized fields, maybe like robotics or one of those very rare fields, it makes sense for a company to reach out internationally, to source for you internationally, right? But if it's just the regular careers that we see all around, those roles can be easily filled here in Canada. So please don't fall for scammers. But if you actually land a job, honestly, this one takes you, like, it shoots your points so high. The points that you're going to get by having a valid job offer from Canada, the points are very high. So for those that actually eventually nail that part of it, automatically, give or take, you definitely have your PR. So yeah, but please don't fall for scammers, okay? Then the next point I will talk about is the language test. This one, this is where a lot of people, always have problems. So of course, there's the English tests like IELTS and CELPIP. So CELPIP is more Canadian based, while IELTS is international based. That's for the English test. And then for the French test, you have the TCF and I think it's called the TEF. Those are the approved exams that you have to do. The language test is also one important part of, it's one important determinant of your CRS score. If you can score high in IELTS or CELPIP, you are well on your way. But I know that this is the part that used to fall most people's hands.
Oh my God.
For IELTS, there are 4 areas that you're going to be assessed on: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Honestly, the IELTS is not that difficult. But I think that most of us, our problem is that we're not objective when we are assessing our capacity when it comes to English language. If you are objective with yourself and you know where you fall under, it will kind of help you to know how best you need to prepare. Because it's not just about doing the test over and over again. If you keep doing that, you keep getting the same results. But the point is that you need to also look at yourself and say, okay, how is really this my English? Then you'll be able to better prepare for this test. But I can tell you, have no fear. It is not something that is too difficult. But I must tell you, Sha, if you have H factor, you have H factor, I don't know. Well, let's just say that it's not really very, it's not going to help you so much. But the point is, just do your best. Prepare. IELTS is something that you need to prepare for. I will see if I can do a video on how you can pass your IELTS. But all I'm saying is that it is not that difficult. You just need to study, prepare, assess yourself, and actually prepare for these particular for the test. So yeah, this is one area that a lot of people struggle, but it's also one area that determines what your score will be. And it is not just about having say 8 overall or maybe 7.5 overall. It's about also having the maximum points in the 4 areas that I mentioned earlier. If you can have the maximum points in each area, then you are well on your way. If you even use the CRS tool to just play around with it, and you put the maximum scores, or you drop one of the scores, you will see how the scores will fluctuate. That is to tell you how important this part of the exam and this part of this selection criteria actually is. So please, before you apply, make sure you use that CRS tool. I keep mentioning the CRS tool, because I know, because I've heard stories where somebody would have gone to do IELTS, the person would have gone to evaluate their degrees with WERS or ICAS, only for them to discover that, oh, actually their CRS score is just coming to around maybe 420 or 430. That is a problem because the truth is that the scores are really high these days. Okay, they've not had a draw in a while, but even as at the time when the draws were still on, you're looking at like 460 something, 470 something. Some even went as high as 480. So if you're still getting like 420 in your as your CRS score, then maybe this is not the route for you. I'm going to do another video where I'll be telling you how you can improve your CRS score, but at least even have a baseline, have a good baseline CRS score so that you know that, okay, it's just a couple of points that you have left to go, okay? So please don't waste money. Make sure you use the CRS tool before you go ahead. So if you like this video, please take a moment, subscribe, and also hit the like button down below. Now, when you are sure that, okay, you qualify, everything is fine, so now it's now time to start gathering your documents. The number of documents that we required from you, I'm going to do a separate video on that so that I will tell you what exactly you need. And I will also be talking about the proof of funds, because you do need to have some money in your account before, as part of the things that you need to show for. So, assuming you have gathered everything, then you can now enter the pool. Meaning you can now, create a profile and be in the general express entry pool. I know you hear that term a lot, enter the pool. That's exactly what it means. You'll be in the general waiting area, kind of. Let's put it that way. And then when they do those draws, if your points, depending on your CRS score, if your score is above the cutoff, automatically you will get ITA, which is invitation to apply, an invitation to apply. So it's not a, what they call that, kind of thing. It is pretty straightforward. Once you're there, if your score is higher than the cutoff, you'll get an ITA. So you don't have anything to worry about. Now, when you get your ITA, you will have at least 60 days to submit your documents. Make sure you have gathered everything. Because I always say this, that some people will get to this point. Within that 60 days, they will not be struggling to get everything, and they might not meet up with the deadline. You don't want to be in that position. In fact, the earlier you even submit your application, it's not even better. Have all your documents ready so that once you get ITA, it is really straightforward. Immediately, sharply, just submit everything within a week. Just submit everything, because the earlier the better. You want to be quick about this kind of thing, because see how COVID just came and scattered everything, scattered everyone's plans. So in a world of uncertainties like this, I think it's best you make hay while the sun shines. Did I get that right? Yeah, make hay while the sun is correct. So make sure you do things very timely. Now, when you have submitted all your documents, after you've gotten your ITA, then they will be assessed, and this is where the waiting game kind of begins, right? Because it takes at least 1 to 6 months before they get back to you. And that is during normal period too. But now that there's even COVID stuff, I don't even know how long it has been taking in recent times. So this is where you apply that virtue called patience. Just relax. The point is, when you get ITA, at least your mind will even calm down, because you know that yes, you are well on your way. So once you start that waiting game, within that 6 months they will contact you to now submit your passport. At that point, at least you know that okay, things are looking good. You start to see the snow in Canada, all kind, it's now very visible to you. So you submit your passport. That one takes another, in fact, it takes another, I don't even want to put a time limit to it, because I've heard people who have stayed for months without getting their passport back, some 6 weeks, some, it varies. So just know that it takes some time as well to get your passport back. There are a couple of things that would happen as well there. So, but at least that is kind of like the process in summary, and then you get your, I think that's when you get your COPR or so. So that is the process of the express entry in summary. Now, it is not I know this video seems a little overwhelming, it's like too much information, right? But the truth is that the process is actually very straightforward, and I'm going to put all the links, like I said, in the description box, things that will help you. I will even put the links to a place where you can be checking the draws. When the draws actually kick off, they always update it with the new scores. So I'll put all of that there. If you want to use an immigration consultant to help you with your application, look, that's completely fine. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, don't use them or use them. It's totally up to you, because we all have our peculiar situations, right? Like I said, some people don't have the time or the patience, so it's just easier for someone to help them. So if you can afford it, why not? Let somebody do that work for you and put you on the right track. Just make sure you are using a licensed immigration consultant. Not make them scam you. Now that money is very hard in the economy, don't let them scam you, okay? Make sure you use a licensed immigration consultant, not because you're trying to save money, you now fall for someone who claims to be a consultant and they are not. So yes, that is really the Express Entry program. Please watch out for my next videos. I'm going to be doing a couple of them on how to relocate to Canada, okay? And if there are things that you want me to talk about specifically, please put them in the comment section and I will attend to them. Also, watch out for some giveaways that might be coming through. Yeah, you'll see them in the next couple of videos that I will be posting. So guys, this is where I'm going to leave this video for today. You know what to do. If you like the video so far, please hit the like button and please share this information. While it may seem very basic to you, to someone else, they don't even know where to start from. I can tell you that I've gotten a number of DMs where people will say, oh, I don't even know what the express entry is all about. I don't know what it is. So please share this video with them. And of course, remember to subscribe to my channel. And you know how we roll, you know how we do it on this channel. I'll see you on my next video.